Chasta and Baby Huey here for 107.7 The Bone at Aftershock, and I'm so thrilled to talk with Josh Katz of Badflower. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You are the singer in my new favorite current obsession band. Like,
wow.
Obsessed. You guys are so phenomenal.
You know we're Badflower, right?
I said Badflower.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Oh, I was like,
just making sure you didn't get it confused.
You threw me off. No, seriously. I started listening to your music, and I just have to say thank you for being so vulnerable. Thank you for saying things that will make people feel less alone in the world. You know, it's easy to do rock in the big, crazy, rock and roll way. It's a very different thing what you're doing. And songs like Ghost and Heroin, they move me and move me.
Thank you very much. Thank you for saying that.
I had an experience this morning, actually. I was listening. I drove down from Tahoe, which is about 3 hours away from here, and I'm listening, and I'm driving early morning on these like foggy, quiet roads with these huge trees, and I'm listening to Ghost and the acoustic version, and my whole spirit was just like moved. I just started bawling. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So
I'm sorry for making you cry.
I know.
It was not my intention.
It wasn't my intention to get so wrapped up in it this morning, but what you talk about is so important. So tell us how it feels for you to write that music and be that conduit for people to feel like I do, to feel understood.
It feels really good. I never expected this. I've been told that a handful of times.
I'm sure.
Now. And
I know I'm not the only one.
For us in the beginning, it was like, we were debating whether or not we should even release it. We're like, is this insensitive? I'm like, well, I know it's not insensitive because I'm writing about how I feel.
Right.
And I'm not gonna, I don't know, it was like we figured out pretty quick that what made sense for us to do when we had something to say was to not sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself much of a poet. So I'm not like writing these grand metaphors around the point. I'm just saying the thing.
That's what I love about it.
I'm just saying the thing and using my voice to emote it, like as if I was having a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
And we got very lucky that was something that resonated with people, and here we are.
Yeah. I just can imagine as a writer, like putting that out into the world and being so intimate and so personal. It's a heavy, obviously heavy topics, but it's a heavy thing to then just be like, okay, it's released. It's out there. Part of you is out there.
Oh, it was terrifying.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. But not as terrifying because before Ghost, we didn't have much of a fan base. We were still growing.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're releasing it to who? There wasn't like enough. There wasn't like enough people there to be critical. Now it's more difficult.
Yeah.
Now releasing music is tough because there's a bunch of people who care and who want something specific. They have their own opinion about what your band is and they want to hear that thing. And if you don't give them that thing, then they're like, this band sucks now.
Yeah.
So now it's more terrifying. But releasing Ghost, obviously it was scary because of the content, but because we didn't know what was going to happen, we didn't know if anybody was going to hear it. We didn't know if radio stations would play it. Like, we had no idea.
It makes it easier to take a risk.
It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then when all the good things happen, it's just like a fun ride.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Who made the decision to use your gasp, your breath, like in as such a highlight in those moments? Because I feel like that's what really drives the lyrics home, and the vibe of the song is hearing you like your gasp there. It takes your breath away to listen to it.
I always like to leave that stuff in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's raw and unfiltered, but it works.
I think even more so on the second album that there's more of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because second album I produced. The first album we had a producer, but he also we were aligned. We were on the same page with a lot of this stuff. So, but yeah, second one I wanted to make it as real as possible. There was really, other than my band, there was nobody else's input on it. It was like, this is what makes sense for us. This is our vision entirely.
Yeah. And these days you can do that.
Wow. So for you guys, I know a lot of people are anticipating more new music. Is that something?
Yeah, they need to stop.
Well, because
leave me alone.
How frustrating or tough is that, the challenge? Because I'm sure the first album, that's whenever you guys got to, because you guys had plenty of time to write it. That was your first album. Second album, I believe, was done during pandemic era. Now that everything's more or less back to normal, is it kind of like there's a demand on you, and it's a little challenging to get get it done in a certain time frame?
I can't even put into words how challenging it is.
Yeah.
It's been really, really hard. really.
Is there
First
deadlines?
Of all, I gotta say, thank you for sitting down because you're really tall, and I feel like this puts us on a nice.
It does, nice intimate
this
moment.
feels a lot better.
Story of my life.
I felt really little.
Welcome to my world. Standing next to him all the time.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's hard if our band had become successful on just like catchy, snappy rock songs or anything like that, then it's kind of a different thing. But I know what we are and who we are, and I love that. I love what our identity is. But maintaining that, forget the fans, like even just for myself, maintaining that is really hard because I said a lot already.
Yeah.
We have an EP and 2 albums out, and then a couple like Move Me, a couple songs that didn't make it on anything. But through all of that, I'm like, I've said a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it again, especially if I don't feel it in this moment again.
Well, it's
so
gonna
now
take some living to have some more.
Exactly.
Right?
So what is there to say? Now I have to find what I want to say, and then once I find it, I have to know in my soul that it's important enough to go out into the world, because I don't crave attention like I once did when I was younger.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was like, everybody listen to my shit. Now I don't. Unless I feel like it really matters, I don't want anyone to.
Or organic.
It's a weird thing to have to like. I've been wrestling with it for the last few years now.
Yeah.
I don't have a solution or an answer yet. All I can do is write songs. I still love writing songs. I just don't want anybody to hear them ever.
Wow.
Well, to me, it sounds like, as Chasta just mentioned, it's very personal, deep down experience for you as far as what you're writing about your life and what you've been through. So I'm sure that has to come naturally. So it must be tough if you have like a deadline coming up. Like, you don't want to force yourself to write stuff that doesn't seem authentic. So
correct.
Is that kind of what you're just dealing with right now?
That's exactly it.
Gotcha.
I feel like it would eat you. You're the type of person, it would eat you alive if you felt like you put out something that wasn't authentically you.
And it's happened.
Yeah.
I won't say specifically, but it has happened, and
Okay.
it still eats me alive.
Yeah.
So I have to be really careful about who hears what and what I do, and
put up those boundaries, kind of.
Which I'm also not good at putting up boundaries. Someone from my label just walked through the door. I don't know where she is now, but we have issues. She's the best. She is like responsible for our success wherever she is, but we have an interesting relationship in that sense, because I'm not good at like putting up my boundaries. Sometimes I just disappear and I ghost. I'm like, I don't want anyone to hear anything. I don't want to talk to anyone. Just pretend I don't exist. I'm over here writing my music, and it's not good. It's not good behavior. But
it's real. And that's why I thanked you from the beginning, because a lot of people feel that way, I mean, I'll say something and I've said it a few times and people have kind of given me backlash about it. I was thriving in the pandemic because I was alone.
So was I. It was the best.
Right? I was like, when we came out of the pandemic, I was like, are you sure? Because I'm a Cancer and I have a dark mind and a dark heart, right?
Yeah.
What's your birthday?
July 17th.
Oh, I was like so close, July 9th.
Wow. Our drummer is July 8th?
Really?
He might be the 9th. And Joey, our guitarist, is July 16th.
Oh my God, we're a bunch of Cancers.
Yeah, we cry a lot. We just like sit around in a circle crying. That's all we ever
This
do.
explains why I fell in love with them so hard, so fast.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I fully support what you're saying, and I think as it comes, it will come, and that will keep you in a great place because it's authentic to you. And what matters most is this, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when all this bullshit's done, the fact that you can sleep with yourself, right? You can go to bed at night and know that Josh is Josh.
I always sleep with myself.
Yeah.
But it'll definitely be warmer and more comfortable if I'm putting art out into the world that I'm proud of and I think deserves to be out in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, because I know how I feel about it, how does it feel to be with 100,000 people and all of this social and all of it, like us having to sit here and do this shit with us? Like, how does that feel to you?
It's great. I feel really detached from it most of the time. I live on acres of land alone.
Yeah.
So I'm really secluded. I forget that I do this for a living sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when I'm off tour or I take, a month away from playing a show, I forget. And sometimes I'll show up in an airport and somebody will recognize me. Rarely. But sometimes it happens. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm that guy. That makes sense. I'm like, oh, can I get a picture? And I'm like, what do you mean?
Why?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So I forget, but I think that's good. I don't mind that.
It is good.
It's all stupid. It's all just a big show.
Fame. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been in this tent covering this festival specifically for the better part of 10 years, and we've seen some real douchebags walk through here.
Yeah.
No names.
It definitely feels like high school a little bit out there, like the cool people.
Yeah.
The
being
cool people,
seen,
it's cliquey,
mingling,
and all that stuff. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're not friends with any of these people.
Can we be your friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yo, I'm friends with him. That's that guy's a friend.
Yeah.
That guy's your friend?
Yeah.
All right. He made it through the barrier.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
I'm looking around. I'm like, no.
I know.
Who else?
Fuck all these people. I don't.
Well,
I know.
it's funny because you walk in and you see like a couple of people and you're like, you try to say hi and stuff, and they're in their world and they're in their clique, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't take offense to it, but I just know it is what it is.
I was telling someone earlier, I feel like a little bit imposter syndrome back here, a little bit. Like,
Do you feel like
So
that?
do the bands. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
really.
Like, you really want to talk to me? Does it really matter?
That's
yeah,
so
of course.
interesting. But it's all a part of what you do,
That's the
especially these
thing.
days.
I feel like imposter syndrome allows me to perform well because I think it's a big fat joke. Like this is what I used to have panic attacks on stage a lot.
Okay.
This is how Ghost was written. I was
Right.
like so uncomfortable and it's like so uncomfortable on stage, especially there in most environments, but especially on stage. And then eventually, I realized I could be myself, which was somebody who has panic attacks. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, I can say that to the audience. That's okay.
Yeah.
They know. They
People-
heard Ghost.
people
Like they
like
know.
me are crying in the forest
Yeah, exactly.
over it.
And then now that I'm past that, and a lot of our show is more fun than it is like serious and emotional.
Yeah.
It's really just making a big joke out of it. Like,
I love it.
this is so stupid. That's so stupid that there's as many people watching me. Like, it's so dumb. Like,
and that's
really?
how I feel about celebrity in general.
Yeah, but
You
that
know?
makes me like, well, now I'm fun to watch on stage because I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Because I don't take it seriously.
can I just say, I'm feeling very Kurt Cobain-esque from you
totally,
right now.
totally.
Totally, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I respect
Absolutely.
that. Like,
Yeah.
I really love hearing what you're saying right now.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, a big fan, but I don't think so.
But you are being yourself right
He's a
now.
different type. He was authentic.
Yeah.
As authentic as it gets, and I try to be that as well.
Mhm.
But my version of authenticity, I don't think is the same as Kurt Cobain's. And I think if Kurt Cobain was still alive, I actually don't think we'd be friends. I think he'd be one of those people out there. I'm like, I don't want to be friends with that guy. But from afar, I'm a huge fan.
You respect him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I feel like that about
Yeah.
some people too, so it's okay. Well, we won't keep too much to your time because I know you're probably ready to get the hell out of here.
It's
but
just a little. I mean, I feel bad for you guys. They got these misters blowing, but they're
they
blowing
don't
outside.
reach-
They're going
I know.
nowhere.
They don't reach
Put them
back
in.
here. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. All right, so we have one more question, and
Okay.
I'm super excited to get your answer because you are such a thoughtful, creative human being. You're way too young for the movie Almost Famous, but do you
No,
know
I'm
it?
not.
Okay.
How old do you think I am?
30?
33.
33.
Oh, wow.
I think.
We should play How Old Do You Think I Am?
I'm not asking this question,
Because
by
you
the
already know.
way.
You already know.
You could. I'm not answering it for you. I feel like it's just the.
Yeah.
I don't want to answer it for either of you.
I referenced Kurt Cobain already, so obviously
Right.
I lived in
yeah,
that. So
but
that was
everybody knows Kurt Cobain.
But I
now.
lived in, I was
Okay.
a kid. I was a little kid.
How just tell me.
I'm 39. Be 40 in 5 weeks.
I would have guessed way younger.
Okay, thank you.
Way younger.
Thank you.
I'm not playing this game. So anyway, in the movie Almost Famous, the last frame, they ask, what do you love about music? So
Any
Josh.
guess?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. What do I love about music? A lot of things. Mostly that at its core, music is a natural phenomenon of physics. And it's the only thing that we've taken this natural phenomenon of physics with very few other mediums for it to go through and made it into art. Vibrations in general. It's just a phenomenon of physics. Things vibrate. When things vibrate at octaves, they sound like this. When air pressure is changed by these vibrations, you get noise. And we have we've tacked on poetry with it because we have singing and words, but even without that, if you had no words, really you're just creating vibrations into the air and it makes people cry. That's bonkers. No other form of art, I guess painting or making pictures kind of does
Can
too.
do the same, yeah, but in a
But
different way.
music is that medium it's just so powerful that you could vibrate air, change air pressure with vibrations, and most people are going to be aligned yes, I feel sadder now, or
Yeah.
yes, I feel happier now. Not everybody is obviously people have music preferences, but this minor chord to that minor chord, universally sad. This major, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about music. I love that I get to be a part of that in some way, making vibrations that make people feel things.
We have asked that question for the better part of 10 years, and we've never got anywhere close to that answer, so thank you. That's why I ask it.
That's why I'm here.
He's like, you are.
I'm just a
welcome.
one-upper. I just gotta go.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for
Of course.
talking with
Thank
us
you.
today.
Thank you.